Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are live here on Hammer Down TV with the Hammer Down TV's presentation of the Hammer Down Iracing League Street Stock Series. I am Ricky Hall. Alongside me tonight, Langdon Giddens. Langdon, what do you have to say tonight?
Well, I'm hoping we get some pretty good racing tonight. Hopefully everything's going well. Very little cautions, hopefully. But first, I feel like we should start off with bringing the top three and points leaders up here for a quick little driver's interview before the race. Talk about strategies they're using from last week's races and any lessons they learned maybe from these races.
Yes, sir. Let's get it started off with our third place driver. Go ahead and bring Blake Garrett in here and ask him what he's got planned for tonight and how he plans to bring home the points in this one.
User was moved to your channel.
Well, Blake, you're currently sitting third place in points right now. How are you preparing for this race today? Hopefully coming home with that first place or even that second place result.
Yeah, I just spent the day playing with my kids, getting relaxed before I got in the room.
Oh, it's always the best therapy out for just hanging out, enjoying life, right? Races. Sometimes that actually works. It's kind of nice when it does pay off. Any so you kind of like to give thanks to before we do start the race?
My wife and kids, and HP Machine for putting a rocket motor in his car. Evil Graphics for making it always look good.
Well, thank you for talking to us before the race. Hopefully we get to talk to you after the race when we talk to the top three people and the results for tonight's race. Thank you.
Thank you.
User was moved out of your channel.
Well, folks, next we're going to be talking to Daniel Powell, second place in points. Hopefully he's down here somewhere. Well, folks, I'm not actually seeing him down here. We might have... Actually... My bad, folks. We have Howard Weaver subbing for Daniel Powell tonight. I forgot about that. So, we're actually going to bring Howard Weaver up here to talk to him about how he's prepared to take on Daniel's spot for today.
User was moved to your channel.
Well, hello, Howard. So today you're going to be subbing for Daniel Powell, as we saw. Howard, how are you preparing for this race to sub for Daniel? Well, folks, looks like Howard's gone for a moment. We'll get back with him maybe at the end of the race or some other time.
User was moved out of your channel.
Well, folks, hopefully Keith Haney is here, the #1 driver in points right now. Let me go ahead and grab him for you guys.
User was moved to your channel.
Well, welcome Keith to the broadcast booth. Today, obviously, currently we are... currently we're first in points. How are you preparing today to get that first place again?
I'm just hoping to get a good qualifying position for the most part. That way, I don't really have too much competition to have to pass, because the competition's pretty stiff tonight as it is. So I'd like to just kind of get a good qualifying position, kind of keep myself up front, and just come home with a solid finish.
Yeah, well, we all hope that. Hopefully there's no, cautions that are going to affect your racing result for today. Last week, those definitely played a pretty big role in the results for last week's race. Well, thank you for talking to us. Hopefully we get to talk to you at the end of the race today, because for your top 3 finish. Good luck, Keith.
Hey, buddy, I appreciate it, man.
Yep.
User was moved out.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for your pre-race driver interviews. We will be right back to you in just a few minutes with our track states for today. Well, my bad, folks. I did actually forget to join, so I am a little bit behind here. Just give us one more quick little moment, and we'll be right back with you.
As our drivers head out on the track qualifying, first lap times coming in looking like Dan Guerin with a 3.223. He's your current pole holder, followed by Kyle Beck, Alex Buer, Trevor Collins, Rusty Lohr, Nicholas the Russian Rocket, Bryson Daffrin, Jamison Miller, Keith Haney, and Shane Kelly round out your top 10 as it sits right now.
Well, folks, obviously, welcome to Knoxville Raceway, supposedly the sprint car capital of the world. Here are your weather conditions for today. We're going to have partly cloudy with 70 degree weather, so not that bad. Track degree at 81 degrees. It's going to be afternoon. The winds are 0 miles an hour, so you don't got to worry about winds blowing the cars around. And the RH is 0%. Obviously, if you guys have seen before, the pace car speed is 40 miles an hour, and the pit speed limit is going to be 30 miles an hour. Looks like we do have quite a few high pings today. Got one with 408, 408, and 258, so hopefully those do go down, or the admins will be sadly forced to give a 30-second black flag. Well, folks, as this 1-minute timer does go ahead and run down, we would just like to say that tonight we will be racing a 41-lap feature for the tribute to
I actually had some technical difficulty, folks, as I'm loading back into the server right now. So coming into this race tonight, ladies and gentlemen, this is our stop on the tour here in the Hammer Down iRacing League Street Stock Series. And we've had 2 races thus far and 2 winners thus far. So it should be an exciting race with lots of action all the way up and down in all of our heats and in onto our mains. I'm pretty excited to be here and have Langdon here next to me. I just want to thank Robert and everyone here at Hammer Down iRacing League that keeps this going and puts this on for everybody every week. And sit back, relax, and enjoy some amazing racing here tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, folks, we're going to get started coming out with to you guys with the starting grid for the Heat 1. So we're going to have the 22 of Brian Abbott on the inside of row 1, Brett Wheeler on the outside of him, 2 inside Trevor D. Collins, outside of him is going to be Dan Jaron. Inside of row 3 is going to be Dustin Hall. On the outside of him is going to be David Brewer, and on the very last but not least, it's going to be Brad Ovens on row 4. Well, folks, the pace truck is in, and we'll be going green. And the green flag is out, folks.
And they're off down into 1. Looks like Brett Wheeler's going to steal away Brian Abbott's spot down to turn 1 on the outside. You have a new race leader into turn 3, Brian Abbott, half a car. So the battle for 2nd and 3rd is heating up. We got a 5-way battle right here. But right now it is all your race leader, Brett Wheeler, pulling almost 2 car lengths and into 2. You got the 41 on of Trevor Collins on the inside of Brian Abbott going into 3, looking for the pass. Let's see if we can get it done on the bottom side here. They're going to be door to door. It's going to be a drag race coming down the front straightaway. Still side by side all the way through 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway they go. The 41's got about a half a run in it right now. Let's see if he can get it. A little bit of lag there out of Brian Abbott. But as it stands now, Trevor Collins will complete the pass and take second place, dropping Brian Abbott back to 3rd. As they run on the track right now, Brett Wheeler 1st, Trevor Collins 2nd, Brian Abbott 3rd, and Guerin 4th. David Brewer 5th, Brad Ovens 6th, Dustin Hall is 7th. As Brian Abbott's still trying to make that high side work, trying to get back up there to Trevor Collins. But he's got the 88 of Dan Guerin all over the back bumper coming out of 3. Your race leader, Brett Wheeler, however, is absolutely running away with it right now, folks. 3 car lengths, almost 4, coming down the straightaway. Battle for 3rd place heating up as the 88 of Dan Guerin is all over the back end of Brian Gavitt. They're all single file back 5th place. As they run right now, Wheeler, Trevor Collins, Brian Abbott, Dan Guerin, David Brewer, Brad Ovens. As I actually just lost connection again, folks.
Well, folks, Brett Wheeler still in 3rd. Sorry, still in 1st, coming to that checkered flag for heat number 1. Well, folks, your race results for heat number 1 are Brett Wheeler in 1st. Oh, they just changed. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, folks, your actual results for heat number 1 are going to be Brett Wheeler with 1st place, Trevor D. Collins taking 2nd place, Brian Abbott starting 1st, but sadly getting knocked back to 3rd. Dan Guerin is going to be finishing 4th for Heat 1. David Brewer, 5th place. Brad Ovens, 6th place. And Dustin Hall, 7th place. Well, folks, we're on to Heat 2 now. Your starting grid for this is going to be the number 94, Corey Ryder. On the inside of row 1, Jameson Miller on his outside. Inside of row 2, Rusty Lore on his outside. Kyle Beck. Inside of row 3, Derek Moore. On his outside is Taylor Brigshaw. On the last but not least, on row 4, inside, Stephen Owens. Well, folks, pace truck is in on green flag racing down the front stretch. Green drivers catching that inside. Turn it over to
As Corey Ryder gets an amazing run going down into turn 1, he leads them down, followed by the number 5 of Rusty Lore. As you got a battle for your 4th place in the number 91, Derek Moore, and the number 4 of Jameson Miller. Jameson around the outside right now. Let's see if he can get it done going out of 4th. Looks like he will not. He may even lose back 6th. He's got Taylor Brigella. Not exactly sure how to say that name. Sorry if I butchered it there. But he will make the pass going down the back straightaway as the the battle for 3rd place starts to heat up. 2nd place rather. I'm sorry about that. Because we got Kyle Beck on the inside of Rusty Lore going down into 1. Let's see if he can get a nose down in there and make it stick. You can see around the bottom the track's starting to slick off a little bit. A couple more heats, and I do imagine that the line will start to move up the track, and it should get pretty interesting here, Langdon. But right now we're seeing very much of the same thing we saw in Heat 1, just kind of a follow the leader event. 1 through 7 is your running order right now is Corey Ryder, Rusty Lore, Kyle Beck, Derek Moore, Taylor Brigella, Jameson Miller, and Stephen Ovens. It'll be interesting to see if, as the heats continue on and into our main events tonight, if the drivers are willing to stay in a line like this, or if they start trying to find more grip on other places on the track. Because later in our main event, you put 25 cars. We have a car over the berm right now. Kyle Beck drives over the berm in turn 4, gets it back squared away, and gets back going straight. But he's going to have 2 cars all over his back door now for 3rd place. As Rusty Lore slowly but surely is rolling in. Corey Ryder going into 3. I don't know if he's going to have enough laps to make anything happen. So we have 4 to go at the stripe here, ladies and gentlemen. 4 to go. Your leader right now, Corey Ryder, just leading them around the track. As Kyle Beck's managed to get his car back up, and it looks like Derek Moore may have been involved in some sort of incident. He's dropped all the way back to 7th place. I did not catch that on the racetrack. Not exactly sure what happened there. I'll have to go back and look at it. As your top 2 right now are pulling away from the field, they have a 2.5 seconds on your 3rd place car, Kyle Beck. Corey Ryder and Rusty Lore, 2 to go. Let's see if Rusty has anything for him in the last 2 laps. He's been running a little bit lower. He's got a little bit more corner speed, it looks like. Let's see if he throws it down in there, if he just takes the safe 2nd place for the heat. Oh, he's got a big run on the outside. It looks like Corey Ryder lost a little speed there, but coming out of the corner, he gets it back together. 1 more lap go here in heat number 2. Your race leader, Corey Ryder, 2 more turns for his heat victory here. As they come out of 4, it's looking like Corey Ryder is going to be your race leader.
Well, folks, that was an amazing race there, as we all saw. Your results for Heat 2 are going to be Corey Ryder in first place, Rusty Lawrence second place. Corey and Rusty being just 0.369 seconds apart. So could any little mistake by Corey could have caused a leader change. Kyle Beck coming in third place, Jameson Miller in fourth, Taylor Brickschloff in fifth, and Derek Moore in sixth. Don't know how that exactly happened, but we might take a look at it. Stephen Owens coming in last but not least, seventh place. Well, folks, your starting grid for Heat 3 is going to be Nicholas Stafford on the front row pole sitter, Keith Haney on his outside of row 1, row 2 inside Nicholas Yaxel. On his outside is Alex Brewer. On the inside of row 3 is going to be James Philippi. And on his outside is going to be Carl Young. And on the back should have been Travis Snyder, but Travis Snyder is not racing. Pace truck is off the track, and we're going green flag racing in turn 4 down the front stretch. The 072 and the 87 make a little contact there. No big deal. Your current leader is the 96 Nicholas Stafford. Seems like they're playing a game of follow the leader, almost like all the cars taking the same line in that corner. Hopefully somebody can figure out a new line and make their way up to catch Nicholas Stafford.
Yeah, as they come out of 4 right now, it's the same story like you just said as the other 2 heats. It's a single file back all the way through the field, around the track we go. As it's looking like the number 32 of Alex Burr is putting a little bit of pressure on Nicholas the Russian Rocket in the 072 car. Let's see if he can hold him off. As you see a few drivers poking their head out on the high side and a little bit lower, they just can't seem to make it work anywhere but in that center stripe right now. But you can definitely tell as the cars come around, they're getting a little bit looser every lap. The track's starting to go away, so it's going to get interesting the longer these cars race around here and the more heats we put on this track. As they come down into 2, Keith Haney is on the bumper of Nicholas Stafford. He rolls the apron there just a little bit. He's really pushing it. He wants that heat victory. As he's going to stick the nose down in, let's see if he can get it done. He's going to slide up and get him a little bump. Yeah, he gets the front end of the car a little sideways there. He's going to drop back a little bit. He's going to have to roll him back in. Got a few laps left. As we are 4 to go, coming down the back straightaway. Running order as it stands. Nicholas Stafford, Keith Haney, Nicholas the Russian Rocket, Alex Burr, James Philippi, and Carl Young round up your 6-car field. As Nicholas Daffrin's got a comfortable half a second lead going down the back straightaway, nothing to worry about. 87 of Keith Haney's all over the back door here in the corner, trying to make something happen. '87 carries some speed into the corner, see if he can make it stick. Keith Haney has Nicholas the Russian Rocket, moving slowly up from third. Fourth place, Alex Brewer, James Philippe in fifth, Carl Young a little bit further back in sixth. As we're one more lap out here, Corey Ryder's got 2 more turns after this one to make it to the finish. Looking to pick up this heat win. It's been some very clean racing thus far tonight. All of our drivers have been very clean. Hats off to them. As it's looking like Nicholas Daffrin's going to take it out of corner 4, followed by Keith Haney, Nicholas the Russian Rocket, Alex Brewer in 4th, James Felipe in 5th, and Carl Young rounding out your 6-car field here for Heat 3.
Well, folks, your starting lineup for heat number 4 of the night, last heat of the night, is going to start off with Blake Garrett on the pole, Shane Kelly on his outside. Inside of row 2 is going to be Bryson Daffrin. On his outside is going to be Howard Weaver, the famous VLR dude. On the inside of row 3 is going to be James Haney. On his outside is going to be Jamie Reed. Well, folks, Pace Track's going to be pulling off the track. We'll be going green anytime here. And the green flag is waving. We're going green flag racing the Dirt Street Stock Series. Oh, it looks like these...
Go ahead, I've been DC'd again.
Well, folks, looks like they were coming out of that. Looks like the 18 hopped up on the inside curb and got a little loose there and happened to take out the leader, the 257 of Blake Garrett. Well, folks, your new leader is going to be Shane Kelly. Followed by Bryson Daffrin and Howard Brewer. Well, folks, your current top 4, which are pretty spread out right now. Bryson Daffern trying to pursue down Shane Kelly. I don't know if he can make it happen, but if he does, it's going to look beautiful. Your top 5 right now are going to be Shane Kelly in first place, Bryson Daffern in second place, Howard Weaver in third place, James Haney in fourth place, and in fifth place, Jamie Reed. Well, folks, we got 4 to go, now 3 to go. Just with the 19 of Shane Kelly trying to pursue down that 18 of Bryson Daffern. Just trying every single line he can. Kind of looks like he's playing follow the leader a little bit there in that corner, but looks like he's just trying to find any possible way to be able to get around that 18 car. Well, folks, we got 2 to go. With your leader still being Bryson Daffern. He's holding down the fort pretty tight there, but maybe any small mistake could have Shane Kelly with that lead.
They have a half lap to go on the back straightaway here. Let's see if Shane Kelly has anything from Bryson Daffern as he looks to make a move here. Down into 3, he's not going to have enough. Your race leader will be Bryson Daffern, followed by Shane Kelly, Howard Weaver, James Haney, Jamie Reed, and Blake Garrett.
Well, folks, we are now on the consolation of our street stock race tonight. Your pole leader is going to be Jamie Reed. On his outside is going to be James Philippi. On the inside of row 2 is going to be Taylor Brickshaw. On his outside is going to be David Brewer. Sorry, on her. For his outside is going to be David Brewer. On the inside of row 3 is going to be Brad Evans. On the outside of Brad Evans is going to be Derek Moore. On the inside of sorry, my mic cut out there. The inside of row 4 is going to be Carl Young. On his outside is going to be Blake Garrett. On the inside of row 5 is going to be Dustin Hall. On his outside is going to be Stephen Owens.
Lights go out, 1 to go. It'll be interesting to see who's willing to try to make something work here. This is it right here for all these drivers. You either make the show or you don't. So it should be interesting to see who's going to push up and really get to racing this go around.
Well, folks, and they're not in their career, but in this event today. Pace truck is off the track, and we'll be going green flag racing with Jamie Reed up front.
As we go down into 1, it's side by side all the way back through the field, 3 wide even. For the second place is the 69 car of Dave Brewer. It's an amazing move up the middle and will take second from 4th place. The 91 and the 29 get a little contact there. Derek Moore and Carl Young, both of them keep it going in the straight line as it's too deep behind your leader. You got the number 8 car of Taylor Brishagella in the back door of David Brewer in the 69 car coming out of turn 2. Because he's gonna, nope, we'll keep it clean. He's gonna try the high line as the 69 tries to duck down low. He's gonna swing wide as it looks like Taylor Brishagella is gonna get the run coming down into 1. Oh, he's gonna make a nice slide job going into 1 for the position. We got the 91 of Derek Moore working his way up, looking to get into this third place, second place battle. As your leader right now, Jamie Reed, running away with it, but the action in the field is second back right now. Oh, he's got a little more contact into the wall of the 91 car. Everybody keeps it driving straight. Some amazing driving out here tonight on display. As your battle for second place right now, heating up between the 869 and the 25 car. Taylor Brishagella, David Brewer, and Carl Young all within a second of each other. Oh, as David Brewer's going to throw it in deep, get a little contact there. All right, I'm sorry, Carl Young's going to give David Brewer a little contact there with the deep slide job and take the position. But David Brewer is not ready to give it up yet as he's looking to do the exact same thing coming back out of 2. Keeps it a little clean there. As your running order right now, Jamie Reed, Taylor Brishagella, Carl Young, David Brewer, Derek Moore, Brad Ovens, Jamie Philippe, and Dustin Hall round out your transfer spots. The 2 drivers that are out looking in are Blake Garrett and Steven Ovens. As Steven Ovens is actually a lap down, he must have been involved in some sort of incident that I missed on the racetrack. It's unfortunate for him because it's looking like with 9 to go, I do not know if Steven Ovens is going to be able to get back around this race. That could be his night right there, ladies and gentlemen. That's unfortunate. But your race leader right now, Jamie Reed, out there making it look easy in the consolation race. Got a 1.5-second lead on the cars right now. As the lead pack comes up on Steven Ovens, they're going to have to work around a little bit slower traffic. Steven yields the low line to him like a good driver. Hats off to him. As Taylor Brishagella has Carl Young on the inside of him coming out of 4. Carl Young trying to make it stick. Car gets a little sideways on him, loses the back tires just a little bit too much and can't make it stick. Coming down into 1, they're single file, 3, 4, 5, 6 on back. With your running order coming to the stripe, 6 to go. Jamie Reed 2 seconds out on the lead. Taylor Brishagella in 2nd. Carl Young 3rd. David Brewer 4th. 5th, Derek Moore. Brad Ovens in 6th. James Felipe in 7th. Dustin Hall. Actually, Dustin Hall and James Felipe heating up now, switching the position on 8th, the last transfer spot there. Blake Garrett still looking out, right on the edge of him here in the 257 car at the back of the field, looking to make that transfer. But as we head back to the front, Carl Young still on the inside of Taylor Brishagella, trying to make that car stick down there. He's got the 69 on the outside. David Brewer gets into the wall a little bit there. As David Brewer's going to duck under him and try to take the spot. Coming out of 2, he'll get it done. David Brewer moves up to 3rd place. Carl Young back to 4th. As Derek Moore's in 5th, just waiting for one of those guys to make a mistake as he'll take the spot from him. We come down, 4 to go. Absolutely nothing for Jamie Reed right now. 2 laps, clear skies in front of him, 2-second lead. 4 laps to go, looking good. As Taylor Brishagella has moved up, it looks like a little higher in the lane and has made some serious speed as Carl Young and David Brewer is still getting at it back here for 3rd. As they got a 3-way battle, 91 of Derek Moore down on the inside. They get single file coming down in the straightaway.
Well, folks, the 257 and the 29 257 came up and grabbed that 8th place transfer spot. 29 looking to get that back from him. Oh, makes contact. Causes
Oh, the 257 of Blake Garrett is in the wall hard. The 29 of James Felipe is also involved in that incident. It looks like James Felipe is through the pits. 257 gets it back going, but depending on the damage here, he could be in trouble. Steven Ovens is only about a track down from him now, looking for that transfer spot. As Blake Garrett is actually in the wall again out of 4. It looks like his race is done for the night, ladies and gentlemen. In an amazing turn of events, Steven Ovens may get into the feature, as here he comes. He's looking to take it. Will he get around? He will. He will take it. Steven Ovens gets in. Jamie Reed is your race winner, followed by Taylor Brishagella, Carl Young in the 25 in 3rd, David Brewer in 4th, Derek Moore in 5th, Dustin Hall in 6th, Brad Ovens in 7th. And in a miracle story, Steven Ovens making the feature by being a lap down.
Man, you talk about some good racing. This has been some amazing racing tonight, very intense. You know, mistakes are just basically right now, most of these drivers are pretty good at driving and they know how to, you know, drive a car pretty well. So basically the only thing that is really hurting them right now is their own mistakes, which is kind of deciding how these results are going to be now. Last race's situation there, whoops, my bad guys. The 29 of James Philippi did happen to get in the back of that 257 car, so the admins might actually take a look at that, and he might have some punishment for that later in the season. Well, Ricky, we've had some amazing racing tonight. It has just been, it's really intense. Small mistakes causing big upsets. Only 2 drivers missing the opportunity to go to the feature today. Those 2 drivers being James Philippi and Blake Garrett. Well, folks, we're going to be having the checkered flag for the warm-up. About to get into this 41-lap feature.
Yes, sir, as they get set to roll off one more time tonight at the iconic Knoxville Speedway. Track conditions are getting drier by the minute, so it should be interesting. Why don't you go ahead and run us down through our grid, Langdon, as they get ready to roll off.
Well, folks, for your starting lineup for the feature tonight, your pole is going to be Brett Wheeler. On his outside is going to be Corey Ryder. Row 2 inside is going to be Nicholas Daffern. On his outside is going to be Bryson Daffern. On the inside of row 3 is going to be Trevor D. Collins. On his outside is going to be Rusty Lord. On the inside of row 4 is going to be Keith Haney. On the outside of him is going to be Shane Kelly. Inside of row 5 is going to be Brian Abdot. His outside is going to be Kyle Beck. On the inside of row 6 is going to be Nicholas Giscow. On his outside is going to be Howard Weaver. On the inside of row 7 is going to be Dan Jarrett. On the outside of him is going to be Jameson Miller. On the inside of, I've lost track of the rows, is going to be Alex Brewer. On the outside of him is going to be James Haney. On the next row is going to be Jamie Reed on the inside. On his outside is going to be Taylor Bergshoff. On the outside, on the inside of the next row is going to be Carl Young. On the outside of him is going to be David Brewer. On the inside of the next row is going to be Derek Moore. On the outside of him is going to be Dustin Hall. On the inside of the next row is going to be Brad Evans. And on the outside is going to be Steven Ovens. Man, folks, that was a mouthful to get out. It took me a bit to get that out there. Pace truck is already off the track. And we're going to be going green flag racing for the feature of the Dirt Street Stock Series at Knoxville.
As Brett Wheeler jumps out to an early lead, he's got him 2 deep behind him, 3 wide, going into 1 for 4th place. As they roll the berm, they're going to get caught up sideways. It looks like the 18 of Bryson Dafford's going to get pushed down into the corner. No caution flag is out. We're green flag.
The yellow flag is out.
As the yellow does come out now. Just a mess of cars right there in turn 1. It looks like they got bunched up on the start and just never got split up. Didn't have anywhere to go as they tried to run 3-4 wide down into corner 1. And it looks like that yellow was actually thrown by our race officials for that very reason, I would think. As we will see a EOL come out for Trevor Collins. As he actually left. It looks like Brett Wheeler was trying to our front roll challenge and did not get it in time, and that was what the confusion on the start was.
Well, folks, your restarting lineup is going to be... Sorry. Your restarting lineup is going to be Nicholas Effer, Rusty Lohr, Corey Ryder, Keith Haney, Shane Kelly, Brian Abbott, Kyle Beck, Nicholas Yaffa, Dan Jaron, James Haney, Taylor Brickshopla, Jamie Reed, Jameson Miller, David Brewer, Dustin Hall, Carl Young, Derek Moore, Howard Weaver, Stephen Owens, and Brad Ovens. Bryson Daffern, Alex Brewer, Brett Wheeler with the front row challenge, and Keith. Then we are back with your leader, I guess. Pace truck is off. We should be going green flag racing this time around, folks.
Green flag,
We're
green
going
flag.
green flag. Go down the front stretch.
Nicholas Dafford leads him into 1 single file restart. Battle for 3rd place heating up as the 87 puts it all the way down. Keith Haney on the cushions making that slide job work on the top side. As the 19 behind him, the 19 and the 94, Corey Ryder and Shane Kelly are getting into it, looking for that 4th place. As your top 9 gets single file around the racetrack here. So we have a slow car on the bottom side back in turn 2. Looks like the 22 of Brian Abbott has dropped all the way back to 22nd here. Your race leader right now, Nicholas Dafford, starting to dawn. Putting him on him, got a half a second, gaining by the minute. As your running order as they run on the track right now, Nicholas Dafford, Rusty Lohr, Keith Haney entered, Corey Ryder, Shane Kelly round out your top 5, Nicholas the Russian Rocket, Dan Guerin, Taylor Brishagella, Jamie Reed, David Brewer your top 10, Jameson Miller.
The yellow flag is out.
As we have a caution out on the racetrack, it looks like Kyle Beck got into something. Looks like he had some connection issues, bringing out the caution. Our second caution here tonight. 10 laps down, 31 to go.
Well, folks, your restart lineup is going to be Nicholas Daffern up front, followed by Rusty Lore, Keith Haney, Shane Kelly, Corey Ryder, Nicholas Yashaw, Dan Jaron, Taylor Bergshaw, Jamie Reed, David Brewer, Jameson Miller, Carl Young, James Haney, Howard Weaver, Bryson Daffern, Dustin Hall, Derek Moore, Brad Evans, Alex Brewer, and Stephen Ozum, Brett Wheeler still in the back, and Brian Abbott. Well, folks, they are sure starting to lay down some rubber. If you want to look there on that center lane, it is black like crazy right now.
Oh yeah, it's black as night. It's got to be slippery as ice down there along the bottom, which I think we've seen a lot of the back end of the cars getting loose, and I think that's what's caused our cautions thus far.
Well, folks, we should be going green flag racing this time around. Each truck is going in. Leader has control, and we're going green flag racing out of turn 4 all the way down the front stretch.
Nicholas Daffern doing what he was doing right before the restart. Jumps out to a third, tenth of a second lead already. They say single file back behind them, all the way back to, it looks like 10th, 11th place. So there's a 3-wide battle for 11th right now between Howard Weaver, Jameson Miller, and Carl Young. It's 88 of Dan Guerin gets squeezed up in the wall a little bit. It's going to drop back. Got a bumping and running him back in the back. 10 back, 3 wide. 25 of Carl Young over the apron, keeping it straight. Up in front there, Nicholas Daffern driving around, followed by Rusty Lore, Keith Haney, Shane Kelly, Nicholas the Russian Rocket, Corey Ryder, Taylor Brishagella, Jamie Reed, Howard Weaver, and Dan Guerin round out your top 10 as they are on the track right now. Actually, Howard Weaver just jumped up to 10. He's coming on strong here in the main. Out front, your top 2 get into it. 2 and 3. Rusty Lore gets pushed out. Keith Haney gets in the back of him a little bit there, but Shane Kelly's going to be the capitalizer here as he's going to take second place on the bottom side. That pushes Rusty Lore back to 7th place. That's unfortunate for him, but right now your race leader, Nicholas Daffern, driving away with it. Second lead on the pack. 26 laps to go here. Followed by Keith Haney, who has taken over second as that battle's heating up now as the Russian Rockets getting in on it. We've got 3 cars here for second place. As Shane Kelly is dropping back quickly. He's back down to 4th now. And he has the 94 of Corey Ryder lurking on him coming down the back straightaway. Not sure if he received some damage there. What's going on with his car at the moment? As they are single file around the racetrack here, ladies and gentlemen. Your running order as it stands right now. Nicholas Daffern, Keith Haney, Nicholas the Russian Rocket, Shane Kelly, Corey Ryder, Jamie Reed, Rusty Lore, Taylor Brishagella, Howard Weaver, Dan Guerin, David Brewer,
the yellow
Bryson
flag
Daffern.
is out.
Oh, as the yellow flag comes out, we have a car upside down on the track. I believe that is, yes, Brett Wheeler upside down on the track, ladies and gentlemen. As I'm looking at what happened here, oh, it looks like the 32 car of Alex Brewer lost it into turn 1, and Brett Wheeler had absolutely nowhere to go, and he just got collected in it.
Well, that kind of sucks for Brett Wheeler there. Front row well, taking the EOL to get some extra money at the end if he did happen to get up to the front. To sad break for him, as he just kind of had nowhere. He had nowhere to go basically, and that may or may not have ended his race for today. Hopefully not. Hopefully we see him come back out on the track and get some of his spots back.
As he will not make it, ladies and gentlemen. They are putting it in the hauler and heading home. The front end of the car is completely destroyed.
Well, folks, that's very unfortunate for Brett Wheeler. Currently sitting 11th in points.
Yeah, that is definitely not what you wanted to see from Brett Wheeler tonight, but the truck lights are out, and we'll be going green flag here at the line.
Well, folks, we're going green flag racing out of turn 4, all the way down the front stretch into turn 1.
Your leader, Nicholas Dafford, jumping back out early like we've seen him do so many times here. As we go back to Rusty Lawrence, 7th place. It's a battle for 5th here, heating up. 4-way battle, 2 wide right here. It's going to be a little contact. 15's going to get pushed down a little bit. Oh, the 15's going to get nailed down.
The yellow flag is out.
That's going to cause our 4th caution, if I've counted correctly. 4th caution of the night. Jamie Reed gets pushed around out of turn 4 and T-boned. So your running order on the track as the caution comes out is Nicholas Daffern in 1st, Keith Haney 2nd, Nicholas Russian Rocket in 3rd, Shane Kelly 4th, Rusty Lohr 5th, 6th is Corey Ryder, 7th, Howard Weaver, ladies and gentlemen, is on the move. We're going to have to keep an eye on him. He's got about 16 laps when we go back green to make it happen. He started in 12th, has been coming on strong, having a solid run here tonight. We got Dan Guerin. As Rusty Lohr has actually been given an EOL, the admins feel that he could have done more to not get into the back of the 15 there. So that'll bump Howard Weaver up to 6th, Dan Guerin to 7th, Taylor Brishagella to 8th, Bryson Daffrin to 9th, David Broom, to 10th, Carl Young 11th, Jamison Miller 12th, Derek Moore 13th, 14th Alex Burr, 15th Dustin Hall, Brad Ovens in 16th, James Haney in 17th, Jamie Reed in 18th, Rusty Lohr 19th, Stephen Ovens in 20th, and Brian Abbott.
Well, folks, we should be going green this time around. Pace truck should be starting to turn in, and it is going in.
Green flag, green flag.
And we're going green flag racing down the front stretch.
As once again, Nicholas Daffrin wastes no time jumping out to a half a second lead on Keith Haney coming down the back straightaway as they're single file. Howard Weaver back in 6th, looking to make something happen. 5th place on the inside of Corey Ryder through 4. See if he can get it to stick. He's got a good run. They're nose to tail coming out of the corner. He's up to the quarter panel, door to door in the corner. He's going to slide up the track a little bit, make a little bit of contact with Corey Ryder. Howard Weaver is going to bump him out. He's going to get the position. 88 looking to make something happen on the bottom of 8. Almost gets squeezed there. Everybody's clean down the back straightaway. As Dan Guerin moves up to 6th, following Shane Kelly 4th. Howard Weaver moves up to 5th.
The yellow flag is out.
As the yellow flag is out on the racetrack once again. See if I can find what happens. It looks like a little bit of contact between Carl Young and Bryson Daffrin. Spins him around on the front straightaway. He does get it whipped back around, but the caution comes out. Make no mistake here, ladies and gentlemen, there may have been a few cautions here, but we have seen some amazing racing here tonight. And this track, as you can see now, as we were talking about Langdon right before this event started, it has slicked off majorly throughout this heat race. I mean, it is black as night out there now.
Yeah, and, you know, as we do have these laps remaining, you might see now that everyone's trying to run that high line. Well, almost everyone's trying to run that high line. You kind of wonder, will there be a point where they lay down so much rubber on there they got to find an even more grippier line?
I mean, yeah, that's absolutely something. I mean, like we said in the beginning of this broadcast, we usually run 30 laps at the events we go to, so that extra 11 laps may not sound much to y'all at home, but to those of us who are on the service and run these tracks all the time, 11 laps is night and day sometimes here at Knoxville.
Well, it looks like they did end up sending Carl to the back, even though that really didn't look like his fault at all.
Yeah, and it looks like Carl did not agree either, as he just said, all right, I'm fine, and pulled it into the pits, and looks like he's going home.
You know, to be honest, I would probably do that too.
Well, that is unfortunate for him, but as it always is, the race official's word is final, so that will end it. As we have 4 cars out here tonight, 21 still in it, lights off. Langdon, take them to the green flag.
Well, folks, the pace already been ordered.
Green
Green
flag.
flag racing in the first corner, all the way down the front stretch into the first.
Into Cord 1, you got a 3-way battle. Looks like, oh, we have some blinking going on here out of the Nicholas the Russian Rocket. Howard Weaver is looking to make a move on the 19 Shane Kelly there, as we have 3 wide for 7th place behind them. Cars all the way up against the wall. 3 wide coming out of 4 down the front straightaway. As hopefully the Nicholas the Russian Rocket's internet gets sorted out. I would hate to see him lose this 3rd place to a black flag because of connection errors, as he's making a run up to 2nd place right now. Howard Weaver still down on the inside of Shane Kelly, coming out of 4, looking to make a run for that top 3. He's got 4th spot over Shane Kelly right now, coming down the front straightaway. But your battle for 1st place heats up, as Keith Haney is all over the inside of Nicholas Daffrin right now. Howard Weaver and Shane Kelly both just passed the Russian Rocket there out of 2. But your race lead is looking to change here at the line as the yellow comes out. I'm not sure who's going to be scored first there, as they have black flagged the Russian Rocket for connection issues. That is unfortunate for him, ladies and gentlemen. As we come around to 6 to go here, if my math's correct, that'll leave us with 3 or 4 laps to go when the caution comes off. Your race leader right now has been running the show all night, Nicholas Daffrin, but he had Keith Haney all over him right there in those last couple of green flag laps. In 2nd place, Howard Weaver's up to 3rd, making an amazing run here from 12th, looking to earn some points for the driver he is substituting for tonight. Got Shane Kelly in 4th. Nicholas the Russian Rocket's been dropped back to the back of the field, unfortunately, or will be black flagged and have to drop back to the back of the field, unfortunately. Dan Guerin, David Brewer in 6th and 7th, Alex Brewer in 8th, Taylor Brishagella in 9th, Corey Ryder 10th, Derek Moore 11th, Dustin Hall 12th, 13th is Jamison Miller, Bryson Daffrin in 14th, 15th is James Haney, Jamie Reed in 16th, Brad Ovens in 17th, Rusty Lauren 18th, 19th is Stephen Ovens, and Brian Abbott rounds out your field in 20th. I noticed a few laps ago, and I forgot to mention, I'm not sure what happened to Stephen Ovens earlier in the event, but he is a lap down. He has not had any good luck here at Knoxville tonight. But it does look like the base lights are out. We'll be going green, 4 to go here at Knoxville. Let's see if we can keep them green. Anything after this should end it.
Well, folks, Pace Truck is about to head on in the leader's control. And we're going green flag, racing out of
Green
turn
flag, green
4
flag.
onto the front stretch in front of the flag stand.
As here they come. It's time to leave it all out on the line. You got the 88 on the inside of Nicholas the Russian Rocket, looking for that top 5. Your top 3, Nicholas Daffrey, Keith Haney, and Howard Weaver, all within striking distance of each other. As Howard Weaver's trying to make it work on the bottom side of Keith Haney. He's got the nose down. He's right on the back bumper of Nicholas Daffrey. He's going to take second here. He's looking for that first place, 12 to first. Let's see what he's got. As 87 and 7 are going to make a little contact. 96 is going to get bumped a little too. Everybody's still clean racing. 7 on the outside. Howard Weaver looking to take first. He's got Nicholas Daffrey all over the inside of him, down into 4. Keith Haney's thinking about it, looking like he's going to do it. He is. He's going to put it in there in the middle. They're going to come 3 wide. They're going to get contact. Oh, it's going to get them all. Ooh, they're going to keep it straight. An amazing piece of driving out of Howard right there, ladies and gentlemen. Holy moly.
What a save. Wow.
As Howard Weaver, ladies and gentlemen, from 12th to 1st, takes your race lead. Shane Kelly jumps up to 2nd during that little debacle they had right there, followed by Dan Guerin, who also picks up another position into 4th. Keith Haney back to 5th. Or, I'm sorry, Nicholas Daffrey is in 3rd now. Oh, as they spin out. Oh, as the 88 gets hit hard. And it looks like white flag is no caution. Everybody's good. The rest of the field gets through. Looking like your winner is going to be Howard Weaver. One more corner. What a story. 12th to 1st. Ladies and gentlemen, Howard Weaver bringing it home at Knoxville, followed by Nicholas Daffrey. Field gets sorted out here. Keith Haney, Alex Brewer, Corey Ryder rounds out your top 5. Bryson Daffrey at 6th, Dustin Hull in 7th, Derek Moore 8th, David Brewer 9th, Jamison Miller 10th, Dan Guerin 11th, James Haney 12th, Taylor Burchagella 13th, Jamie Reed 14th, 15th is Rusty Lohr, Brad Evans in 16th, 17th is Shane Kelly, Steve Ovens in 18th, 19th is Brian Abbott, 20th is Nicholas the Russian Rocket, Carl Young 21, Brett Wheeler 22nd, Kyle Beck 23rd, and your 24th place Taylor Collins rounding out your field tonight. So we saw some amazing racing here tonight as we get ready to bring up our top 3 drivers and talk to them. If we go ahead and bring up Keith Haney, we'll get these started.
User was moved to your channel.
Well, folks, great racing from Keith Haney there. It looked just as intense as I'm sure it was for you, Keith. Close racing there with Howard Weaver and Nick Daffrey in that 96 machine.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, that was absolutely insane, man. I know I spun somebody right there toward the last few laps. I definitely didn't mean to do that.
Oh, well, I'm sure they'd take this apology. Any reasonable person would. Well, it was just amazing. Do you like, how did the track feel to you? You know, I saw as it got eventually really slick in there, and I'm sure it was hard to find a good line.
Yeah, once the track got a little wore out, it seemed to benefit me a little bit better. I could kind of keep up with the leader a little bit better than I could in the first half of the race, and I knew passing him was going to be a pretty hard thing, even though we got so many lines out there. Once you do try to get in to the slicky stuff, you just can't grab enough traction to really, put the hammer down to make the pass. So I was trying to bide my time and kind of wait for him to mess up to make my move, and he did mess up, and I got around him, but unfortunately I came out a little high and gave it right back to him. So, man, but all in all, that was an awesome race.
Yeah, it was definitely fun to watch. You're currently sitting first in points, so you might lose a few positions, but still probably going to keep it in that top 5. Are you happy with your result today?
Oh, yeah, for sure, man. I'm happy with him. I'm hoping that it does keep me up in the top spot, considering I believe the 2 guys that beat me tonight, I don't believe they were too up in the points, but I may be wrong. So hopefully it keeps me in the top spot.
Well, Nick Daffrey may not catch up to you, but Howard Weaver was subbing for Daniel Powell tonight, which is actually in second place right now, so he may have Daniel taking your spot there. But
Oh, man.
like I said, you're probably going to stay in the top 3 with the amazing racing we saw tonight. Is there anyone you'd like to shout out, or thanks for helping you on your path?
Oh, yeah. Hammer Down Racing for sure, for putting on the heck of a show. My dad, James Haney, my brother Brian Abbott for coming out here racing with us. All you guys up there in the booth that put on this show. Everybody out there watching, I appreciate you guys. Keep tuning in every Sunday night and put on a heck of a show.
Well, thank you, Keith, for talking to us. I look forward to talking to you a little bit later. Well, folks, we're going to go ahead and move on to our next subject. Should be Nick Daffern, if I am correct. I am correct. That's good. Okay, we're moving Nick Daffern up here.
User was moved to your channel.
Well, Nick, that was a definitely hard-fought race there with Howard Weaver and Haney on your trail on your trail, not the whole race, but at that very end point there. What were you thinking? It was so intense. I don't know how you could have drove through it. I would have been scared. How'd you feel? Nick, you there, bud?
I think he felt like we're having technical difficulties with his mic.
Well, Nick, we'll talk to you later if you can hear us.
User was moved
It's
out of your
unfortunate.
channel.
I will try to get him back one more time after the end of here.
Well, folks, we're moving on to our first place winner today, subbing for Daniel Powell. I bet Daniel is gonna be happy with the result that Howard put in for him today. Howard, how'd the race feel today, bud?
It felt great. I went from they put me to the rear at the start, so I had to start from 24th and got in there just in time for the end of it. So thought I was gonna get turned there on the last lap or two, but held on to it and got the win. So it's pretty awesome.
Well, man, that is one thing I saw there, and me and Ricky both of our jaws dropped. That save you did there at the end when they about got you spun around. It looked amazing. It honestly looks like something out of a highlight film.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. You're good. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah, if that was the very last lap, it would have been pretty cool to for it to end like that. But yeah, I didn't know what happened. I know if they hit me again after I got sideways there, I probably would have went on around. But luckily, I was able to save it. But yeah, it would have sucked to have come from 24th to first and then spin out like that as soon as I take the lead. But yeah, luckily they kind of let me gather it back up and just pulled away the last couple laps while they battled, I guess.
Well, I'm sure when Daniel figures out what place you got in the standings, he's currently sitting second in points, so you probably just did him a huge favor, and he's probably sitting first in points right now. I guarantee you he's very happy. But how'd you did so basically as the track went on and it got slicker and slicker, did you find that it was a little bit harder to keep control of the car, or was your setup kind of built for slick?
Well, it was a fixed setup, so we were all on the same thing. So I mean, the setup felt good. I mean, it's hard to pass people on a fixed setup, and so just being able to pass them was surprising to me. But I was hoping it would get real slick because you know, I figured some people would kind of be full throttle, and I'd be able to get runs on them and pass them, just, you know, using a little bit of throttle control and stuff. So I was just hoping for that, and it got pretty slick, and that seemed to be whenever I really started gaining. And so yeah, I appreciate those guys racing me clean. I do have to apologize to Dan Guerin, I guess is how you pronounce it. I got into him trying to do a slide job, which seems to be take a magical task in these cars with how slow they are. And so I killed him, and then I got into Corey Ryder, I believe it was, late. So I apologize to them too. I was I don't know. I've raced here 3 times, and I seem to always get penalized before the start of it, so I wasn't too happy, and I was just getting up there as best I could, so I apologize to them.
Oh, I'm sure they'll accept it, you being such a likable guy.
Some people, not so much, but
well,
depends
Howard,
who I'm hitting.
well, Howard, thanks for racing with us today. Is there anyone you'd like to thank? Which I'm pretty sure I know one of the things you're going to thanks/shout out.
What'd you say, sorry, at the end?
And I'm pretty sure I know one of the things you're going to say.
Well, tell me, because if you don't, I'll probably won't.
VLR.
Okay, good. Yeah, I was gonna say thanks to VLR first. I don't have any sponsors in Street Stocks. I just won the VLR fixed setup Street Stock at Charlotte right before I jumped over here. So, so I had a good night in these cars. But yeah, I also like to thank Daniel for letting me drive his car tonight, I guess, and you guys for broadcasting, and everybody who watched, and the admins for giving me a penalty at the start made it interesting. So they'll keep doing it, I'm sure.
Well,
no offense, old Harvey.
Well,
hopefully they won't ban me.
That'd be funny. Anyway, Howard, thank you for racing with us today. I'll probably be in contact with you some other time when I have to announce your wins. So we'll see you soon.
Yeah, thank you guys, and thank you, Hammer Down, for this series.
Yep.
User disconnected from your channel. Was moved out of your channel.
Oh no, I moved Ricky.
User was moved.
Sorry about that, Ricky. Well, folks, it's been a great race today. Coming from Knoxville with Howard Weaver coming out on top, making Daniel Powell probably the points leader. I don't know for sure, but in case anyone didn't realize, the 41 lap feature was in memory / tribute of Jason Johnson, who sadly passed away not too long ago in a sprint car crash. It is, it's one of those hard things that comes with racing. It also comes with danger. There's always that possibility of you being in a car crash and it becoming fatal. But it's just the life of the beast. You kind of got to accept it, sadly. But on a happier note, it's been a great race. It was great working with you today, Ricky. I don't really have much else to say. Ricky, you have anything to add on to what we've said today?
Yeah, I mean, just amazing racing, and paying tribute to an amazing racer, and just showing that no matter what happens in the race or what trash talking goes on outside of it, it's just a giant family. It really is. Get out there at your local track, man, and we'll see you there. For Hammer Down TV, this is Ricky Hall alongside Landon Giddens. Your race winner here tonight, Howard Weaver, from last place to first. What a miracle. That'll do it for us at Hammer Down TV. Y'all have a nice night, and we'll see you at the track.